Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Wings, Flight Diary, Akari's Route, episode 11. And this will be the ultimate last episode for all of If My Heart Wings. So I played all the routes in the original title, the Still Presents special disc, and the other routes in the Flight Diary fan disc. So let's see how it all ends in Akari's route. So, in the last episode, the Soaring Club, with the help of the Student Council, got the glider airborne for the Morning Glory in defiance of the teachers. So, Tobioka Sensei and the teachers came in at last minute to stop the takeoff, but then the weather conditions got worse and takeoff was the safest option. So, around that time, Akari was able to convince Tobioka Sensei to a small extent about, you are destroying the dreams of many people when you put a hard stop to the Soaring Club. So your choice to demolish the garage, it hurt many people, not just the Soaring Club. And pretty much everyone, including everyone in the Student Council, wanted to see this Soaring Club take off and go up to the Morning Glory. So lots of cheers and support and excitement. But the teachers aren't buying it, and let's see what they're going to do now that the glider is gone against their orders. Okay?
これを生徒会が主導したというのなら問題だぞ、雲井。
So what are they going to do now? So you are now shown to abuse your authority as the Student Council President. I didn't have the strength to resist anymore. And Tobioka Sensei looks like he wants to say something to me too, but when he got his turn...
Akari-san. Tasaki-kun. すいません。言いつけを破ってしまいました。
So I'm sorry that I chose to come anyways. But then again, it's like, well, we all want to have Akari as a president, and whatever happens to her, we want to endure it too. So we think she's doing a good job, and we too also want to support the Soaring Club. And he and the other Student Council members bowed to me in apology.
いいのよ。私こそあなたたちの気持ちを考えずに先走ってしまったわ。
So I admit
ごめんなさい。
I shouldn't have kept this all to myself.
責任は僕たちも一緒に負いますんで。
So whatever happens to you, we'll endure it too. And they meant what they said before. So everyone really had been inspired by the Soaring Club, there you go, and wanted them to succeed. There you go too. And I still felt bad that I'd gotten them all involved in this though. And I don't know what to say. And just as I'm feeling the weight of the world might collapse on me, Haruka comes bounding up full of excitement. So Haruka is still optimistic despite the tensions on ground.
ほらね、来てよかったっしょ。
So it is worth coming.
よかった。ありがとう、お姉ちゃん。感謝なさい。姉を敬いなさい。
So I'm happy to receive a lot of praises.
ねえ、かなちゃん、これでもうおしまいっすか？
So is this it, Kana-chan?
どうなんだろう。
Maybe?
まだ終わりじゃないよ。
So it's not over yet. Aga had been staying close enough to overhear our conversation.
そうなんすか？
So what's next?
すごいのはこれからさ。
So basically, this is just the beginning, so the cool stuff has yet to come. It is. And now that I noticed it, none of the Soaring Club members are looking deflated. They're waiting in expectation of something even better.
葵たち、今どのあたりかな?
So I wonder where they are.
予定通り行ってるなら、もうウェーブリフトに乗っているはずだが。
So, if they are on track, they should be riding the wave lift now.
そろそろ日の出ね。
And it's almost sunrise. So I couldn't pick up any kind of hint about what is supposed to happen next. So what's going on?
見て、あれ。
So it's coming, says one of the female students. And someone cries out in surprise. And then out on the horizon, so here it comes. And for a moment, I forgot to even breathe. And something rose out of the gloomy darkness. And it's just me. Oh, so it's not just me. Everyone on the hill is staring at this now. And even the teachers who had remained so stone-faced up to the point. And it's twilight, still not yet dawn. And the sky is mostly dark with just a faint line of white to suggest that it might get lighter or brighter. And something huge is starting to form out of there. And just from the silhouette, it looks like some kind of long serpentine dragon. And the cloud stretches all the way across the lake, across Mount Kubai and beyond, just like a line dividing up the sky itself.
あれがモーニンググローリー。
So, is this the morning glory? And all around us, people are talking. And the whole thing looked like a little eerie, like it is not of this world. And some of the more timid girls in the crowd actually look scared of it, clinging tightly to their friends' arms.
なんだあれは。
So what does Tobioka Sensei think about this?
わかりません。
Well, I don't get it.
あれがモーニンググローリーですよ。
So I'm sure it's more like, well, what's special about this? So they're willing to risk themselves for this nothingness. And Amane is observing it in a calm, composed manner. And from what I could see of her face, she looks like she finally witnessed something she'd been waiting for a very long time.
モーニンググローリー。
So
あれがそうなのか。
that's it.
イスカが目指していた空です。
ミサギが。
So wait, you mean Misagi? And Tobioka Sensei looks as if he had been struck with a sudden secret sadness.
こんなものが本当に実在していたなんて。
So wait, so it's not like nonsense or a joke or anything.
いつもの大げさな空想だとばかり思っていた。
飛岡先生。
So Mai's expression turns serious as she gently confronts her old teacher.
今回の件、すべての責任は顧問である私にあります。処罰なら私が受けます。
He didn't answer. He's unable to take his eyes off the cloud rolling across the steadily brightening sky. And right then, the communication equipment starts to ring. Aga hurries over to answer it.
葵、こちらアゲハです。どうぞ。
So, okay, let's see. It's Ageha here, so go on ahead. Okay, so we're in the ridge lift. Our height is a little holding and we're going to make it. So we're almost there.
みんないけるってよし
So now that the morning glory is here, the ultimate step is for the glider to reach up to the clouds. And okay, so we're heading that way now.
うんわかった
So good luck.
葵行ってこーい葵くん
And I scanned the horizon again and again, desperately trying to pick out the glider in the dark. And I know I never see it from here, but I couldn't help looking out for it anyways. So if there is even the smallest chance of seeing Aoi-kun riding across the cloud, I want to take a look at it. And that's when it happens. So a brilliant light streams forth from beneath the horizon, lighting up the world. And dawn had finally arrived. Okay, so the newborn sunrise paints the sky in orange, red, purple, blue, all the colors blending seamlessly into one another. And the great white pathway of clouds turned to gold.
すごい
So I'm sure at this point, Aoi and Kotori have made it to the morning glory. And it really is too fantastic for words. And unlike before, this is no letdown, no anticlimax here. So this is the ultimate goal. It's worth it. This beautiful, once in a while scenery. And I'm filled with an overwhelming sense of awe. I couldn't think straight, and my mind barely had time to register what I am feeling. And I'm seeing what that fateful photograph had captured. So now he can see it in color, the actual thing, with his own two eyes. But the real thing is so much more impressive than any still image could convey. There you go. And I felt something warm on my chest and realized I actually been moved to tears. So this is too spectacular to
みんな葵たちが今あそこにいるって
So Ageha makes the announcement. And Ageha once more calls for attention.
葵たちは今あの雲の上をグライダーで飛んでまーす
So they are gliding on top of the huge cloud. And it's almost too crazy to be true.
今あそこに葵くんたちがいる
So pretty much, he made it. So he crossed the heavens on a golden tunnel of clouds, and I suddenly remember what he said to me a couple of nights before. I'll show you the skyline. We see it, I promise.
見てるよ葵くん
And I too see it, Aoi-kun.
これがあなたたちが目指していた空なのね
A strange thought crosses my mind then, and we finally got to where we needed to be. I stood there, letting the tears run down my face, and did my very best to burn the image of that incredible skyscape into my memory. Okay, so we are now at the credits for Akari's route. Well, actually, this is the same for all the other routes. So I'm going to skip this and we'll see how Akari's route ends in the epilogue. So now that everyone has seen the Morning Glory, I wonder, especially for the teachers, if they'll have a big change of heart. So why it's worth it for the Soaring Club to risk anything to get the glider ready for the Morning Glory. And we know from some of the routes that Tobioka Sensei did have some connection with Isuka, so the person who originally pushed for this. And I don't want to talk more because that's explained explicitly in some of the routes, so the Amane routes and such. So let's see how the story ends, and hold for a minute. Okay, so we are now in the epilogue for Akari's route, and let's see how it ends. And I wonder what kind of punishment Akari and maybe Amane got for doing the Morning Glory event without the teacher's consents. So what's this file here? File? Oh, oops. Well, I'm sure. Okay, so I think this is Amane's class, and Akari's helping Amane, and Amane finds, or Akari finds, some handout that Amane forgot to hand out in class. Or I think it's before class, so Amane is doing last-minute preparations, which is bad as a teacher. So the second semester had finally started, and certification, which included possibly the most eventful months of my life so far, had ended and things had started to settle down. So guys, I think we should stop. So I'm sure it's obviously Kotori and the others. So Aoi and Ageha and... So just as I'm about to leave to go to the copy machine, I heard voices in the corridor outside. And then I opened the door. So you two, Ageha and Kotori. And the culprits are trying to peek into the classroom are Kotori, Aoi, and Ageha. There you go. Hello? Oh, hello, Kotori. Amane waves to everyone from her desk. Well, that makes sense. So if you want to come in, just do so. So you don't have to eavesdrop from the entrance. Well, it is kind of fun though. And I told you this is a bad idea, so we should just went in anyways. Hey, don't show off. And you're in on this as well, so don't push it all to us. Hey, so you got it all wrong, Akari. I really did try to stop them, honestly, so... Really, Himegi-san? I'm sure they're going to say other things. Well, I don't know. Hey, why you? So you deceived me.
特に厳しい罰を与えるべきかしら。
So I'm going to put you under more scrutiny. So I want you to shape up and be more proper than this. That's so unfair.
冗談よ。
Well, I'm sure it's good in a sense. Aoi seems to relax. He's so easy to mess with sometimes. And seeing him act so friendly around other girls still gave me a little pang of jealousy, and this is a nice way to relieve the tension. And I had to admit, he's so cute when he gets flustered. I could never stay mad at him for very long.
望月先輩に会いに来たのね。けどあいにく今は授業の準備中よ。
So her last minute preparations. So it may be the middle of our lunch hour, but Amane is a teacher. She had an afternoon class to prepare for. And today is the first day of our special course of lectures.
あまねちゃんに授業なんてできるのかしら。
Well, I guess we'll find out. So don't forget to eat, right? Okay, Amane?
はい。でも違うぞ。先輩じゃなくて先生だぞ。
Okay, so now that I'm a teacher, you have to call me Wojiki Sensei.
あかりさんは何してるんですか？
So what are you doing here, Akari-san?
あなたたちと似たようなものよ。望月先輩、妹へ先生の様子を見に来たんだけど。
So I'm checking up on how Wojiki Senpai, oh no, actually I mean Wojiki Sensei is doing.
少々手こずっていらっしゃるようだったからお手伝いをね。
Okay?
つまり心配してきてみたらやっぱりダメそうだったから手を貸してやってるってわけね。おーい小鳥、せっかくあかりさんが包んだオブラートを堂々とひっぺがすな。まあでもあかりさんがついててくれるなら安心ね。
Okay?
確かに。
Okay, that's good enough. Uh-huh. And they are all in agreement on that point. As much as they care about Amane or Wojiki Sensei, they don't seem to have a lot of confidence in her.
あ、そうだ。ねえあかりさん、あの後どうだった？
So, how did it go for you with regards to the Soaring Club and acting defiantly against the teachers?
どうとは？
What do you mean?
処分よ。飛び岡から嫌がらせされなかった？
ハバネさん、先生を呼び捨てにするのは感心しないわね。
私ら昨日呼び出されたんですけど、こっぴどく叱られはしましたが、それ以外は特にペナルティもないみたいで。
So, all they did was just yell at the Soaring Club. So, you know, you did this recklessly. Next time, be careful, but no discipline. Yeah, so we had to submit a written apology, but otherwise, we're in the clear. So, all they did was just, next time, be careful. So, apologize and promise that you will not do this again. And 3 pairs of concerned eyes all turned towards me. So, do they think I negotiated a harsh punishment for myself to lighten the load?
私も同じよ。厳重注意の上、生徒会役員で集まって反省会をして、そのレポートを提出させられたわ。
So, same here in the student council. So, we also had to submit a apology in writing. So, sorry, this was a one-off event. We're not going to do it again, and we'll be careful next time.
それだ
And
け？
I'm sure it's like next time we will work with the teachers and the faculty to come to an agreement rather than acting on our own behalf.
そんな心配そうな顔しないで。それだけよ。
So either way, I guess it all worked out good.
あの飛岡先生が？
So what about Tobioka Sensei?
やけに手ぬるいわね。後々何か言ってくるつもりかな。
So I think he's still waiting for some punishment.
多分、それもないと思う。
Well, I guess we don't have to worry about that.
他の誰かが代わりに責任を負ってくれたのよ。きっと。
So who did? So I turned my head towards the back of the room. So I think it was Amane.
れで資料は全部だったはずだけど。
But she's too busy teaching or working on preparing for a class. So Amane didn't notice, or maybe she did and is choosing not to respond.
いいえ、多分あれよ。あかりさんのお説教が効いたんだわ。
So I'm sure you convinced him in the end.
お説教？
So your speech?
生徒の創造性を阻害することが慶風学園の理念にかなうとでもおっしゃるのですかってやつね。
So you brought up a very interesting, convincing reason, and that got him to think otherwise. Oh yeah, and that was awesome.
私、胸がスカッとしたわ。ずーっと言いたかったことをあかりさんがみんな言ってくれたんですもの。かっこよかったよね。
So is there something wrong, Akari-san? Well, it's embarrassing now that you put it that way.
だって先生に向かってあんなこと言っちゃうなんて、それも大勢が見ている前で。
And in front of a big crowd. So my plea, or my last minute plea. And now that I think back at it, it's way too embarrassing.
もう接すべきだわ。
何言ってるのよ。私、あなたの熱いハートをビシビシ感じたわ。そうですよ。熱血ドラマみたいでした。
And my face felt very warm. And I'm probably blushing like no one's business. How could I look anyone in the eye like this? I grabbed the file and barged my way out.
コピーしに行かないといけないから。
Okay, so I got to get my work done, so copies. Hey, wait a sec, Akari-san. Aoi calls me back before I could get very far.
何？
What is it? So do you want to walk home together today?
ええ。
Okay. Cool. So I'll wait for you after class.
わかった。
Okay, I understand. And feeling much more at ease now, I made my way to the faculty office to use the copy machine. So it's coming up to the end of September, but the weather is still unreasonably hot or unseasonably hot. And that said, our vacation had been so hectic, and it's nice getting to enjoy the summer atmosphere in a more relaxed manner. And everything had happened so fast I never had enough time to fully process it. And going back to my regular daily routine after all, that's like walking or waking up from a dream. And just like when you try to remember a dream, as it fades from your mind, I'm left with that fuzzy, uncertain feeling. So, how is Amane or Mozuki Sensei's lecture? So this is after school now.
そうね。
Well... So Aoi-kun and I are walking home. I knew he would ask me about this sooner or later, but I'm at a loss for words. And how could I best explain this?
あなたたちが想像している通りよ。
So I'm sure you can picture it in your mind. So the usual Amane or Mochizuki attitude. So it felt like such a sloppy description, but he knows exactly what I mean.
でも大丈夫よ。ちゃんとフォローしておいたから。
So basically, Akari had to give Amane cues about, okay, so when you explain this, say this. So don't go off into this.
望月先生が言葉足らずなのは仕方のないことだけど、そのせいでせっかくの授業が台無しになるのは我々慶風学園生にとって多大な損失だわ。
That's true. So Aoi-kun went on, listening attentively while I'm just rambled and thought out loud. And I'm glad she had you there with her. And the look of relief on her face, or his face, is plain as day.
まるで家族の心配をしているみたい。
Well, I guess it's something like that. So we spent almost every day together last summer. And I'm pretty sure Amane's the kind of person, so despite being a genius, she needs help. So yeah, we're close, and I know how much trouble she can be.
いいな。
And my true feelings start to slip out.
私も生徒会なんてやめてソアリング部に入ればよかった。
So maybe I should join the Soaring Club then.
そうしたら私も特別な夏を過ごせたのに。
But we spent the summer together, didn't we?
でも望月先輩とご一緒する時間はあまりなかったし。
But you spent more time with Mochizuki.
あなたたちはちょっと変わった先輩くらいに思ってるかもしれないけれど、あの人はすごい人なのよ。
That's true. And Aoi-kun is not sure how to react to this. And I wish I could think of her that way, but she does such a good job of hiding her genius under all that spaciness. Or spaciness, you know? So, she is a genius, but her actions kind of speak otherwise. And I'm sure it would freak people out. And the I'm hungry, I want something to eat. So if he had been at her lecture today, he have seen for himself how amazing she is. And he's right about her being troubled though. So basically, you have no street council meeting today?
ええ、仕事は残っていたんだけどね。もう少しみんなに頼ることにしたの。
So the other members will cover it for me.
この間のことで考えさせられたのよ。今まで一人で何でも抱え込みすぎていたかもって。
So I'm sure this is from the other members. So they're like, well, President, I think it's better if you have us help you as well. So during that time when you stay overnight to complete that document. So it would have been better and much better for you and your health that we come and help you fix the problems. Oh, cool. And what a lukewarm response. So was that all she had to say or he had to say? And wasn't he the one who tried so hard to convince me that it's alright to rely on others now and then? That's true. And the student council's a real good team then.
ええ、そうでしょ。ソアリング部にだって負けてないわよ。
So, FYI, we helped your Soaring Club succeed, and now the mission is accomplished. And admittedly, we are all a little strange. And proud of it too, despite our recent setbacks, our morale is at an all-time high.
そっちはどうなの？
So how about on your end? So what's the Soaring Club doing? So it looks like we're going to be starting from scratch again. So the Soaring Club is once more attempting to be recognized as an official school club. And that's because they don't have a faculty advisor. So Amane made her decision right at the start of the semester.
もう私が顧問を続ける必要はないだろう。君たちは目標を達成したんだし。
So now that you accomplished what you wanted to, there's no need for me to continue being your advisor.
というわけだからすまないな。
And with that, she resigned her position as the faculty advisor and the club supervisor, or the expert person. It made sense though, so she's a busy person, and managing a club on top of that would be too much even for her. And up until now, she had been doing it as a special favor for Aoi-kun and the others. But at this point, they fulfilled their biggest, most immediate goal, and she could step down. And besides, she wouldn't be a teacher here forever, so her assignment is only temporary. And that's her official story, but I had my doubts about it.
責任を取ってくれたんだわ。
So it is thanks to her that the rest of us got off so lightly. And why had Tobioka sensei agreed to that? Maybe it had something to do with why he was so hostile towards the Soaring Club to begin with. And either way, with Amane Mochizuki gone, the club is going to have to rebuild itself all over again. And we still hadn't gotten our winch back either. And I wonder if he'll ever return it. Well, I'm sure once the Soaring Club comes back as an official club, then he'll be forced to give it back to the Soaring Club. So it becomes property of the club.
それは大丈夫だと思うわ。
I'm sure he will at some point. And what makes you say that?
なんとなく
So just my hunch.
もしも部活動復帰が認められた後も返してもらえないようなら生徒会に相談してちょうだい。
There you go. So if you do become an official club, then he has to give up the winch and give it back to you guys. And in matters concerning official clubs, we actually had a surprise amount of authority. And might be able to lean on Tobioka Sensei and convince him to do the right thing. So don't be trying your best to sabotage the Soaring Club anymore. I really didn't think it would come to that though. And this time, he stand by his word and give the club his okay at the faculty meeting. Okay, so I'll relent. And maybe he even performs some real maintenance on the winch before returning it. So, good condition, safe to use. So the club would be back in action just as soon as they found a new qualified supervisor and a faculty advisor. And when they'd done that, what would they work towards next?
ねえ、滑走路へ行ってみない？
So do you want to go to the airfield or the runway? Why? So it's not like there's anything there right now. So it's just an empty field.
いいでしょ？ほら。
Well, let's just go then. I grabbed him and hurried him over. And for me, this is a huge step forward. So I never thought I'd ever get comfortable enough with a guy and my boyfriend to be this bold. So what's the excitement? So what is it with you today, Akari? So that weird laugh is creeping me out. So do you have something secretly planned for us, Akari-san?
変は余計です。
It's not weird.
ここへ来ると空が広がるわね。
Okay.
どうしたの、葵くん。
So coming here really makes me want to fly again. And he looks up at the sky longingly like a child staring at the marshmallow they've been told not to eat for another 15 minutes.
なるほど。
I see. And I shuffled up next to him. So above us, everything is a bright clear blue, still a summer sky that hadn't quite given away to fall yet. And we stare in silence for a while. Every now and then a cloud or two drifts across the sky in front of us. And the same ordinary sky that had been a fixture of our everyday lives ever since we've been born. And seeing it like this, what happened before felt even harder to believe. And had it all been a dream? And had that one huge long stream of cloud just been a trick of our imagination? The morning glory, had that been real? In spite of how rare an occurrence it is, Aoi had found one and even rode it. So he chased that single line of white through the sky, bathed in the brilliant colors of a summer sunrise. And it's a miracle, that is the only way to describe it. And who believe a cloud formation like this even existed. And even now, after I see it with my own eyes, I had a hard time knowing what to think of it. And thinking back, I remember everyone else there had only been able to stare at it in amazement too. And words fail to do full justice to what we saw that day. And it felt like our efforts had been rewarded. And in my heart, a light was shining through the cracks where I once tried to bury it. And the risk I'd taken for Aoi-kun and his friends hadn't made my life easy, but it's not all bad. So, for one thing, I remember my motivation for coming to Keifu in the first place of the way Hayabusa had inspired me. So the mission where they sent a spacecraft to the asteroid belt beyond Mars to collect samples and back for analysis. And what I've been reminded of how desperate I once was to meet the expectations of those around me. But all that hard work had paid off in the end. And that's how I felt when the sun came up on a new day. I hadn't been able to tear my eyes from that cloud until it finally faded away. And that is my way of making that miracle last, of convincing myself it is real. So still, I really want to fly. And Aoi-kun's sudden yell snaps me out of my reverie. So let's go. So I can't stand being here and not being able to fly. And without waiting for a reply, Aoi-kun strolled away. And I would have liked to stay here and remember the special day for a little longer, but I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. And it wasn't as if I see a sky like that again just by waiting around. So the weather conditions wouldn't be right again for years or maybe decades. So what now? So wait a sec. And I ran after Aoi-kun and slipped my arm through his. So he slows down to match my pace. For what? So what did I do? Oh, sure. And like I said before, I'm the one who should be thanking you though. So you're the one who allowed us to spread our wings. Or my wings. No, so you guys are the ones who made it happen. And I just helped a little bit. So you, the student council, and Kotori, and the others. And we've gone back and forth on this point countless times already. So you know, I'm going to be graduating soon, so Aoi-kun is clearly confused by my sudden shift in subject, but he did his best to keep up. So you know, in a few more months, I'm going to retire as student council president. So, any ideas? Some?
と言ってもまだあまり具体的じゃないんだけど、でもね、イメージはあるの。おぼろげな未来像のようなものが。
Okay. I always had definite goals and targets before, but this is more like, a dream, I guess. Oh, so what kind of future are you imagining?
私一人じゃとてもできないこと。
So I'll need help on making this happen. Oh? And he looks confused. Well, to be honest, I didn't understand it too well myself. And there's just this desire, this insistence somewhere in my heart. And it's a kind of frustration and irritation too. a restlessness that made it hard to sit still, that made me want to take action, and I couldn't put a lid over this feeling anymore. So my dream had become too closely intertwined with it.
あの空を見たことがきっと私のこれからを変えたわ。奇跡は起こる。夢は叶うこともある。私はもうそれを知っているもの。
So for me, the sight of Aoi-kun's glider chasing that cloud is a light itself. And light of hope, the light guiding the way to a better future. The way towards may not always be clear, but I had caught a glimpse, a hint of the right direction, and for now, that is enough.
私にはあなたたちのような翼はないわ。
Okay?
けれど、誰かの翼に夢を託し、飛び立つための手伝いをすることはできる。
So supporting other people's dreams, huh? I nod.
それが私の飛び方よ。
I craned my neck up at the sky. The clouds drifted peacefully by. The sky's endless without limit. And I find a way to chart my own course.
どうせ最高の夢を託すなら、最高の人がいいわねって話よ。
And I light the way to new dreams and new possibilities. And with that in mind, this is the end of Akari's route for If My Heart Had Wings, the Flight Diary fan disc.
この大空に翼を広げて、フライトダイアリー。
Okay, so that is the end. So we're back at the menu or the title page for the fan disc. So overall for Akari's route, so it is kind of interesting and kind of difficult given that for the other routes, Akari goes out with Masasugu. So they kind of made a twist somewhere early in the story. And this Akari's route, it really does match or follow what happened for the original character routes from the original title. So Kotori's route, Ageha's route, the twins' route, and maybe Amane's route to some extent. And it really feels like this is derived from Kotori's route. So a lot of the events happen similarly to Kotori's route. So the rubber core takeoff and Tobioka Sensei coming in at the last minute to stop the takeoff for the Morning Glory and Amane resigning in the end. So I'm guessing that going forward in Akari's route, they might end up going back to their old advisor, so Yamanami Sensei. So my take on this route, I don't really like it that much, and I just wanted it something that's more original, a little bit more special, as opposed to it being or heavily based from Kotori's route. And I did like how they kind of mentioned that, so even though Akari is this smart person, honor student, responsible, and be able to be a good leader as the president of the student council, on the inside, Akari does have some, I'll say, some things that she's concerned about. So the fact that I'm just following what other people want, what is the trend, but I don't have anything I'm passionate about. But now that she's seen the Morning Glory, it's like, well, now that I have a boyfriend, Aoi-kun, I want to support him. And my goal as a student council president and beyond is to help everyone achieve their dreams. So even at first, Akari was critical of the Soaring Club, but then when she started to see all the things that could happen from the Soaring Club, starting from the photo that Kotori found in her room, that opened the way to new possibilities. So, Akari, or actually Amane, resigning from her position, it is kind of extreme, or more extreme compared to what happened in Kotori's route, because one of the things that happened in Kotori's route near the end, if you remember, was that the glider, it blew onto Kotori's wheelchair, it knocked her off, and on top of Tobioka Sensei being angry about, so this Soaring Club is unsafe, it also made Kotori's family worried, because Kotori's already in a wheelchair, and even Kotori's father and her sister Hibari don't support Kotori being up in the air in the glider. And in that route, there was actually more desperation and more determination, especially right when the Morning Glory was about to come. Aoi rode his bicycle and chased Kotori's father's car. So anyways, now that I'm done with all of If I Heart Wings, I don't have any more plans to add more pull top titles to this channel. So if there is one more that I could add, it would be the Fine Days fan disc for Sky Full of Stars, but that's not officially translated, and there are some fan translations available, but at this point, after so many titles of pull top on this channel, it's time for me to move on. So I'm hoping to look at other brands going forward, so no more pull top or firmwing titles, and I hope to bring some Saga Planet titles to this channel, because that was one of the brands that I was hoping to bring forward when I first opened this channel many years ago. So by the way, the first episode for If I Heart Wings, it aired almost, or actually more than 4 years ago, so around late 2017, or actually more like 5 years ago. So anyways, with that in mind, I'm moving on, and I'll see you in a future playthrough on a future game.